Hello dear students. Today let us learn political science lesson Indian foreign policy. In this lesson you will learn about nature of Indian foreign policy, principles of Panchashila, non-alignment policy, disarmament and apartheid policy. Children think, is it possible to live alone on this earth? No, it's impossible. Children, does a farmer has a necessity of somebody? Does a trader has a necessity of somebody? Yes, a farmer has to sell his produce and a trader has to sell his goods, isn't it? Whose necessity does a rich man has? He needs the help of workers. Everybody is dependent on each other to fulfill their necessities. Farmer has to sell the goods he has grown. Trader has to sell his goods. An entrepreneur needs employees. Rich people need workers. In this way, each person has a necessity of one or the other person. Can a country live alone without having any connections with other countries? No, it's not possible. A country should have relationship with other nations to get the food items we need, to sell the excess of goods we produce, to solve the problems of border disputes, to solve river water disputes. If we are friendly with other nations, we won't be having the fear of insecurity. So each country will have relationship with other nations in order to fulfill its needs. We need to study about how the countries will have relationship at the international level. Therefore, the way a country acts while dealing with the other nations is called foreign policy. What is foreign policy? The way a country acts while dealing with the other nations is called foreign policy. The policy which the country follows while dealing with other nations is called foreign policy. Nowadays, foreign policy has become essential for each and every country. Why foreign policy is very essential for each and every country? Out of 200 countries in the world, very few countries are strong and most of them are weak. Yet, they have their own foreign policy. Did India have such kind of foreign policy before 1947? No. What's the reason? India was not a sovereign country before 1947. Therefore, it did not have its own foreign policy. India was not a sovereign country. What do you mean by this? India was a, not an independent country. It was under the rule of the British. That's why India did not have its own foreign policy. India got independence on 15th August 1947. Because of this independence, we can take the decisions related to our nation on our own. If a country is independent, it can take the decisions related to the country on its own. In the same way, it can decide what kind of relationship it should have with other nations in the world. That is called foreign policy. So, if a country is independent, it can take its own decisions. It can take the decisions related to the country on its own. In the same way, it can decide what kind of relationship it should have with other countries in the world. The way of relationship or the kind of relationship that a country has with other nations in the world is called foreign policy. India also has its own foreign policy after independence. It has its own foreign policy with its neighboring nations. India has been considered as one of the major countries of the world with its huge population, natural resources, military, intellectual and industrialist capacities. Why India has been considered as one of the major countries of the world? Because of its huge population, natural resources, military, intellectual and industrialist capacities, India has been considered as one of the major countries of the world. India is one of the few countries in the world who pursue their own foreign policy. Now let us see what are the major aims of Indian foreign policy. First one is national security. Second one, enriching national economy. Third one, spreading the cultural richness of our country in other countries. Fourth one, by increasing the number friendly countries and check the power of enemy countries. Fifth one is achieving world peace and coexistence. Let us see that first one. First one is national security. The main aim of our foreign policy is protecting our country from foreign invasions. Protecting the borders of our country is the main first aim of Indian foreign policy. Next one, second one is enriching national economy. India is following such a foreign policy that helps in enriching national economy. It means making country economically strong. Third one, spreading the cultural richness of our country in other countries. The aim of our foreign policy is spreading our culture in other countries. Fourth one, by increasing the number friendly countries and check the power of enemy countries. Because of foreign policy, we can have friendly relationship with other countries so that we can check the power of our enemy countries. Fifth one is achieving world peace and coexistence. In the radio speech of September 7, 1946, Jawaharlal Nehru outlined the foreign policy of India for the first time to the general public. The speech gave an indication of the foreign relationships India is going to foster with countries like America, Russia, and China. Our foreign policy is influenced by many things. They are national interest, geographical interest, political situation, economic interest, military issues, public opinion, and international situation. Which are the basic aspects of Indian foreign policy? First one, Panchashila principles. Though countries have their own social, economical, political and cultural systems, they have always strived to foster healthy relationship, good relationship with other countries. Based on the similar lines in 1954, both India and China accepted Panchashila principles to foster their international relationships. Jawaharlal Nehru, then Prime Minister of India, and Chou En-lai, the Premier of China, signed Panchashila principles. So Panchashila principles was signed by Jawaharlal Nehru and Chou En-lai. Which are the five principles of Panchashila? First one, respecting each other's sovereignty and regional interest. Non-invasion of each other. Non-interference in each other's internal issues. Mutual cooperation and respect. Peaceful coexistence. These are the five principles of Panchashila. Five principles of Panchashila: respecting each other's sovereignty and regional interest. Non-invasion of each other, non-interference in each other's internal issues, mutual cooperation and respect, and last one is peaceful coexistence. These are the five principles of Panchashila. Second one is non-alignment policy. The world was divided into two power blocks after the end of Second World War. The whole world was divided into two blocks, two parties, two blocks after the end of Second World War. And one block was led by USA, another block was led by USSR. The democratic countries were led by USA and the communist countries were led by USSR. In those days, India followed the policy of being non-aligned to either of these blocks. In those days, India followed the policy of being non-aligned to either of these blocks. Now, what do you mean by the policy of non-alignment? That is the policy of remaining neutral, not supporting any of the power blocks. India did not support any of the power blocks. It remained neutral. So it was successful in commanding the faith from both the blocks. It secured financial assistance from USA and secured military aid from USSR. It also dealt every international event independently and welcomed or criticized any issue independently. The credit of creating an independent policy of being non-aligned and making it part of the foreign policy goes to India. After Nehru, the prime ministers like Lal Bahadur Shastri and Indira Gandhi followed the principle of eye for an eye in foreign policy. The wars held in 1965 and 1971 with Pakistan were guided by this policy. In 1971, a war took place between India and Pakistan, and Bangladesh was liberated from Pakistan. When there was war of liberation in Bangladesh in the year 1971, India sent its forces to Bangladesh and Bangladesh was liberated. The Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee tried to reform our foreign policy and strive to have better relationship with Pakistan. Third one is anti-imperialism. The foreign policy of India opposes imperialism. Now, what is imperialism? Imperialism is an attempt by a sovereign country to take over another sovereign country with the intention of ruling it for its personal gain. For example, India was under the imperialism of British. It was natural for India, which gained its independence from an imperial country, to oppose such moves of other countries. No corner of world shall have imperialism, declared India in the Conference of Asian Countries held in New Delhi and Bandung. So, India supported many countries in their freedom movement. Fourth one is anti-apartheid policy. Apartheid is an attempt by a race or people of a particular skin color to subjugate another race of people of different skin color in the name of supremacy. Apartheid, it is a kind of racism. That is, in the name of supremacy, white people discriminated the black. This policy is called apartheid policy. Apartheid is an affront. Apartheid policy is inhuman because it is against the human rights. The foreign policy of India declared that no country of the world shall practice apartheid. Till recently, the minority white people were ruling the majority black people in South Africa. India had declared its support to Nelson Mandela and his party, that is African National Congress, who were opposing apartheid in their country. Fifth one is disarmament. The process of elimination of specific arms step by step is called disarmament. What is disarmament? The process of elimination of specific arms step by step is called disarmament. What is disarmament? The process of elimination of specific arms step by step is called disarmament. There is an increasing competition for the production, sale and collection of arms in the world. Many of the countries are worried that this massive scale of arms could lead to Third World War. Countries with massive arms may attack another country intentionally or by mistake or by accident, triggering massive devastation. So, there is an increased competition in the production, sale and collection of arms in the world. This may lead to total destruction. Even human race may completely extinct from the earth. So, India being a peace-loving country advocates for the reduction of arms qualitatively as well as quantitatively. Since the time of Nehru, India has supported disarmament process. Though it is impossible and impractical to attain total disarmament as every country needs arms for its protection, it is not possible to attain total disarmament to destroy all the arms and ammunitions what the countries have. Though it is impossible and impractical to attain total disarmament as every country needs arms for its protection, an attempt can be made to reduce the number of arms. The Constitution of India's Article 51 advocates for a foreign policy that aims at establishing international peace and cooperation. Which type of foreign policy our Constitution advocates? It advocates for a foreign policy that aims at establishing international peace and cooperation. The Department of External Affairs of the central government plays a decisive role in formulating our foreign policy. It always considers our national interest and public opinion. Indian foreign policy aims at strengthening UNO. India strives to have strong foreign relationship with the countries of world through SAARC and Commonwealth of Nations as well. Moreover, India has been one of the major members of UNO. Being a member of UNO, India's role in strengthening UNO is unique. It is always supporting UNO in maintaining international peace.
Thank you.